you for the very first time, I would just like to say one or two words about you. You know, Dr. Charles Apoki is a well-known wise man, which I earlier said. He's an international conference speaker. He's a mentor, he's an entrepreneur, business advisor, and a minister of the gospel. You know, Dr. Apoki have written numerous books, amongst which there's a one I like very well, you know, Money is an Idiot. You know, like I really like that. Honestly speaking. And there's another one, like, digging your gold. You know, there are so many wisdom. You know, at the end of the day, we're going to let you know where you can pick up Dr. Apoki's products. You know, I promise you, your life will never be the same if you get hold of this man's wisdom. Thank you so much for joining us. Please, if you have the possibility to share this platform, do. And if you don't have the possibility, just sit back and enjoy yourself. Thank you so much. How are you doing? Let's start it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will begin with one question I can't really wait to ask you, sir.
Okay.
I really don't want us to go so much into history, you know, but I want to begin with this very question, sir. You know, like Isaac Newton said that if I see further than every other person, it is because I'm standing on the shoulder of giants. You know, I want to quickly begin with this question, sir. What are some of the things you wish you knew back then that you now know now that have positively shaped your life as a person?
I grew up as the last child of my mother, and one of the philosophies I learned from my mother is never regretting. We don't regret in my family. We don't wish that things didn't happen. So, but I became very wise from very early in life, even though I did some foolish things. There's hardly anything that I am doing now that I did not know I was going to be doing from the age when I was in primary 4. I knew I was going to be a medical doctor from primary 4. My father told me I was going to be a medical doctor when we were living in a mud house without toilets, with chickens staying under my bed. So I knew I was going to be a medical doctor. Then I'm a creation of a deliberate crafting by my parents. I was sent to government college, Ugili, where I met with the elites and we were groomed to become the leaders of tomorrow. And most of us who went to government college, Ugili, are successful people. Like in my class, I have a retired admiral, we have several doctors, I have a cardiothoracic surgeon, I have an orthopedic surgeon, we have accountants, we have lawyers. So the crafting of my life by sending me to government college, Ugili, already propelled me in a direction based on knowledge that these are the things that work. Yeah. And then I went to Federal Government College where I met with the elites. And then from there, I went to the College of Medicine. So my life was programmed. I also knew that at the age of 40, I was going to stop practicing medicine. So at the age of 40, I stopped practicing medicine. So there's nothing I am doing. I had always wanted to live the life I am living, a life where I don't wake up in the morning running to answer yes to somebody. I'd always wanted to be an entrepreneur from the age of 23. I had started buying real estate very early. I married early. I married at 26 because I wanted my children to be my friends. So today I have a son who is a surgeon in Germany. I have a daughter who is managing my school. She has a master's in education. I have my manager, Apoki, who is a PhD student in Romania, married to a medical doctor. I had planned for a global family. There's nothing I really regret not knowing. Knowledge was implanted in me and my life was programmed by my parents and by good government who wanted social justice, that is, given a generation of brilliant men and women the opportunity to become who they were supposed to become. So I really don't have, frankly speaking, I tried to go through my mind what I did not, I regret not knowing early. There is hardly anything I regret not knowing early.
Wow, that was really, really incredible, sir. That
Yes.
was, you know, it's been, I think it's actually been a very, very strict journey. You know, you knowing what's the future holds for you, know exactly what you want to do, know how to follow it.
Intentionality, intentionality, and
Exactly.
purposeful living.
Exactly. Wow, that is really amazing.
I married my wife. She was 19. I was 21. I told her I was going to marry her. That I was going to be a medical doctor, and I wanted her to be a nurse. So I wrote the application she took to the School of Nursing because I wanted her to be the matron of our hospital. Wow. So at 27, I was running a 40-bed hospital doing surgeries as a general practitioner. So at 29, I opened my first practice, and she was there as the matron of the hospital. She was 27. So life for me has been very deliberate. There were distractions here and there. Life has been very deliberate for me and intentional.
Wow, what an incredible
I'm living in the place I am living. I'm living in Ughelli now because that was the kind of life I wanted to live. I wanted to live in a place where I could have space. I live in a big compound. I live in a big house. I wanted space. I wanted a place where I don't go through traffic like in Lagos, Aba, or Port Harcourt. I don't have traffic much here because I'm a free spirit. Then you can see I do a lot of my videos in the farm. I like a natural environment. I like I don't dress like this usually. I wear my jeans and my t-shirt, go to the farm, sit on a tree trunk, sit on a bench. So it's the life I had always wanted to live. I tell myself that I have existed as an allotrope. Allotropy is the existence of an element in more than one forms in a single state. If you take like charcoal, graphite, and diamond, they are the same thing. So I have existed as a medical doctor, I've existed as a school proprietor, I've existed as a clergyman, I've existed as a farmer, and I'm existing as a real estate man, and also as a lecturer. I've lectured in the university. So I've taught in a secondary school. My life is allotropic.
that has really been quite exciting, sir.
Yes, and I encourage young men and women, let's not let church take the responsibility of our living from us. Let's not let our pastors, our guest speakers, our prophets to take our responsibility for our lives. You become who you choose to become. You see, the Bible says, jealously guard your heart, out of it spring the issues of life. As a man thinketh in his heart, so he becomes. I have wanted to have a global family, and I'm going to have grandchildren all over the world. So my life has been very intentional. I do things with intentionality. I don't follow the crowd. So I have not really stood on the shoulders of any giant. The giants I've had in my life are my teachers, my principals, my pastors that pastored me, and then models like Archbishop Benson Idahosa. The models I have looked at from a distance are very variated. Like Fela Nicolas Bokuti, I respect his radicalism and his pursuit for decent society. I like Tai Solarin for his simplicity, and I like Miles Monroe for his developmental Christianity. So I have an amalgam of people that I have studied, but at the same time, I have had friends, because we are talking about the power of friendship.
Absolutely.
I come from a family. Power is the ability to achieve a task. I come from a family that was not wealthy. We were very poor. And there were times I had to squat in people's homes. The coats I wore for matriculation in the university was given to me. I borrowed somebody's own to wear. He's late now. My dear friend, Abraham Jeffia. I squatted in people's houses. I didn't have books to read. Sometimes I borrow people's books when they are sleeping and I read till morning. The shoes I used for matriculation, I borrowed them. When I married my wife, we were living in my friends. I was squatting with my friends. The day we got married, we went upstairs and slept on the bed floor. And we used her wrapper as the curtain. But that friendship provided that platform for me, even though it might not be the best, but that he was there and provided that, gave me that leverage. So even as at now, I've had people who have given me opportunities, who introduced me to preach in big places, people who introduced me to their denominations who are my friends, people who are my friends who took me to countries like South Africa, Australia, and several other nations. So I have leveraged on friendship, knowing that I was the last child. My parents were quite old when they gave birth to me. My elder brother was born in 1935. I was born in 1959, so he was old enough to be my father. I knew that as at today, I'm the only child of my parents alive. I don't have a brother, I don't have a sister. So I needed the leverage of friendship. Somebody once said that your net worth is based on your network. And your network also will determine your net worth.
Absolutely.
So I knew that I was going to be alone. I married early, had children early, made the children my friends. But at the same time, I also knew that I needed people outside my tribe, outside my denomination, outside the schools I attended, outside my medical profession. So I have leveraged on friendship. So that's been part of my story.
That's really amazing, sir. Honestly, if actually this is all we can talk about this evening, I am absolutely blessed. Honestly,
yes. Let me also add something. The average youth of today, if you are in Nigeria, they will say, "Who he help?" Yeah, they have this entitlement mentality that Dr. Apoki should introduce them to his friends, his big friends. But do you have the capacity to function at the level of my friendship? If I speak to Anglican churches, if an Anglican church gives you a topic, orthodoxy and Pentecostalism, a need for a redefinition, do you have the mental capacity to deliver that lecture? What I tell people is that start doing small things with great mindset, and people will notice you. When they notice you, they will commend you. When they commend you, they will recommend you. When they recommend you, it will lead to recognition. So it is that ability to do small things with great mindsets, with an intention that as I'm doing this, it is an opportunity for me to go to a higher level, but not that I'm waiting for the governor of my state to just pick me up or waiting for one rich man to pick me up. Nobody really did that for me. I developed myself inside. The leverage I had was the giant in me, even though I looked small outside.
That was really good, sir. That was really amazing. So I will quickly just touch the second question here as well. Positive influence of friendship, can make incredible influence in our life. So also this negative friendship or negative influence. But ultimately, it's only one of these that can actually lead us to the direction we really wish to go. If we wish to go positive, so positive influence can actually lead us through this towards this direction. But my question here is this: how should we? What are some of these questions that one can keep asking his or herself on daily basis? To really evaluate the kind of influence that you have in your life.
Okay, the kind of influence the friends have in your life.
Yeah.
Now, number one, let me quickly say this. You will notice that the elite, the rich, understand sociology. I did a master's in public administration, so I understand some bit of sociology. If you attended Eton College, E-A-T-O-N, Eton College in the United Kingdom, you are going to likely end up as an elite citizen. Eton College is called the midwife of British aristocracy because it has produced 20 prime ministers, including Boris Johnson. So the friends you will make will be determined by the schools you attend.
Wow.
The university you will attend. So if you go to a university, a secondary school where those who have come were selected out of brilliance and excellence, most likely you will be in a competitive environment. That competitive environment, no person is really telling you to become this or that. The environment itself is organized to bring out the best in you. I give you an example. I had a teacher that said, valuable as knowledge is, the power to acquire it independently is more valuable. His name is Mr. Bamuza of blessed memory. So having that kind of teacher gave me an insight for having independent knowledge. Number two, because we came in as brilliant individuals to government college, the interview in those days was for 3 days. It was a competitive environment. They don't sell brains in Harvard University. They don't do brain transfusion in Harvard University or Stanford. They just make sure they bring the best together, like the Marines or the Navy SEALs in America. And so by bringing us together, there was a mutual synergy and enhancement of our individual characteristics that produced competition. They were negative people, but because the system is designed in such a way that excellence and leadership is the goal of that school, we are naturally synchronized. I have a classmate, his name is Dr. Cheli, or I had a classmate. When we did the final, second to the final exam, I scored 95 in physics. He scored 97 or thereabout. Today, he is a cardiothoracic surgeon because he pursued the medical career to a conclusion. So just being in class with him and trying to either beat him or he will beat me led to a rivalry that made us to become who we are. But the question you ask, if you have a friend, always ask yourself, is this friend taking me in the direction I want to go to? Is this friend an addition to my life, or is it a subtraction? Is he a distraction or an addition? You know, if you live near a madman that is singing Ngongo Jurejuna Moto, Jurejuna Moto, Ngongo is an Igbo song that says there's a lot of rubbish inside a car. If you live near a madman that is singing Ngongo Jurejuna Moto, Jurejuna Moto for 21 days, after some time when you start washing clothes, you will be doing you have become mad. You have become the second madman. So you will ask yourself, is this person introducing a virus of Ngongo Jurejuna Moto into my life? When you see somebody who is always telling you of enjoyment instead of investment, somebody who is always telling you to go and look for babes. You see, I don't commit adultery. I don't do adultery. I've been married for 37 years. I've never kissed another woman. I've been to the most distant parts of the world, Australia, most distant parts of Africa. I've seen the most beautiful women. I don't do adultery. And I don't like any person who is an adulterous person being my friend. Because if a mechanic in Nigeria stays too close to mad people, they would think he's also a mad person. So if you are not going in my direction, you are not an investor, you are not excelling academically, you are not a spiritual person, you are not a family man, you are not a family man, you don't think long term and you don't think about legacy, you are a negative influence. And I avoid such people. If you don't have control over your utterances, you're a negative influence. So like, as for me, I select my friends don't select me. Wow. So you must always ask yourself, is this person taking me to where I want? Friendship is intentional, just as marriage too. And so those are the things you should be looking for. I did a talk on relationships recently, this morning on a radio station. You don't date a girl because of the color of her skin, because of the coils of her hair, because of the curves of her boobs and buttocks. Buttocks has expiring date, breast has expiring date. You don't date a girl because of those C's. You date a girl, does she have capacity? Does she have competence? Does she have character? Do you blend a friend that you cannot blend together with? Is this person trainable? Now, when you have a friend that is always bringing you down, always making you feel small, avoid that person. If you have a friend that is always telling you you can make it, you are good enough, that is a good friend.
Wow. You know, like I said, what is
I don't know if I've answered your question.
Wow. Wow.
I can't be your friend if you're always talking about drink, you're always talking about alcohol, you're always talking about cigarettes, you're talking about loud, you're talking about shisha, you're talking about skunk, you're talking about Morocco now or Colorado, You can't be my friend. If you're talking about land, you're talking about buildings, you're talking about missionary work, you're talking about the legacy you want to leave behind, you're talking about the development of Africa, you're talking about development of Nigeria. Even in Nigeria, I don't associate with people who have negativity about this country. This country has blessed me. I've done well here. It's the best country where you can make money more easily without being corrupt. And all that I have, I've earned legitimately. I'm not owing a bank. I don't do contracts. I don't follow politicians. This is a country that gave me opportunity. So when people talk negatively about Nigeria, I don't join them. Let me tell you one thing. When they say Nigerians are criminals, I was in a town called Springs in South Africa. The man wanted to bring me down. And when you want to bring me down, I fight you. I fight you intellectually. He just saw me when they introduced me, our brother from Nigeria. He said, Nigerians, criminals. I told him, my friend, shut up your mouth. Criminality is intelligence looking for an avenue for manifestation in the midst of oppression and deprivation. For every 1 out of every 5 black person is a Nigerian. So by proportionate distribution, if you want to see bad people, you also see a Nigerian more in any activity than any other race that is black, any other tribe that is black. The Igbo nation is the 6th richest nation in the world. The Igbo nation is the 6th most traveled people in the world. The Igbo nation is the 4th richest tribe in the world. So when you go to Harvard University, the Nigerian students did very well, girls. You go to Harvard, the Nigerians are the most brilliant people in Harvard. In America, the average Nigerian family has more graduates per family than any other nationality, including white people in America. So I don't like people who talk down on Nigeria. I also don't like stupid leaders. I fight government that is stupid. I fight stupid leaders.
Wow. Wow. Honestly, thank you so much, sir, for
You're welcome.
Drop of wisdom. So I'll quickly rewrote to the next question here, sir. So many lives has been ruined as a result of influence or friendship. Dreams have been shattered and goals have never been reached. Based on who we influenced, who we are allowed to enter into our life as a result of friendship or however it is. My question on how regarding this is this. So in what ways would you advise anyone to get rid of negative associates or negative influence when you discover, okay, yes, I have people who are not really aligned with my own value, with my own destiny? In what ways will you advise anyone? What are things you will advise anyone to do to be able to get rid of these people? Sometimes the decision might be very difficult to make. It could be a hard one based on how these people are standing in our life.
Well, I have a philosophy. Happiness is a native of my mind. I don't derive happiness from somebody's body, be number one, including my wife. I don't derive happiness from my wife's body. I derive happiness, I manufacture happiness from my mind based on my productivity. So number two, I don't derive happiness from somebody's budget. I earn my income. I don't derive relevance from somebody's brain. I think independently. I don't derive happiness from somebody's blessing. I have classmates who have juniors who have become governors in Nigeria. I don't associate with people based on the pleasure I will get from their bodies. That is maybe like a girlfriend. The pleasure I will get from the budget, their budget, the pleasure I will derive from my parents, I think independently, or from their blessing. So you don't have and according to one of those, let walk alone. It is not difficult for you to withdraw from people there. I must not do this. I must not be I must be people. There's nothing I'm doing with somebody if I walk it that will make me less than myself. So I have learned that if somebody is not influencing me positively, I avoid that person. I avoid that person. The Bible says avoid those that cause offense. If somebody is constantly antagonizing me argumentatively or whatever, for no reason, some people just antagonize you out of jealousy, out of hatred or whatever. I avoid such people. So you see, I don't go to meetings. I hardly go to meetings. I hardly attend ceremonies. I stay and conceptualize life and bring out results. You sought me out, and I didn't know you before now. You sought me out because of my productivity. You sought me out because of my influence on society. So when you know that you are the factory of your life, the Bible says, jealously guard your heart. Out of it spring the issues of life. The Bible says, by wisdom is a house built, by understanding it is established. Through knowledge, its rooms are filled with rare and precious ornaments. So you see, your blessing is not tied to a man. Don't be desperate in life. Don't ever be desperate. So I withdraw from such people. I technically refuse to associate with them. I technically don't depend on them. And so that's how I take myself from negative influences. Recently, I was in a committee and I found out that they won't allow me to say the truth if I continued, and I resigned. I was working in the glass industry at Abbas, their medical doctor. The international glass industry, I was the resident medical doctor. And I found out that the Indians were misbehaving. They were maltreating Nigerians and whatever. I walked out of the job. I know how to walk away. That's one thing. The only person I cannot walk away from is my wife. And that's because God says it. I've told my children and my wife, they know that if they wake up one day and they say that I'm not their father, I didn't marry my wife, I didn't do business with them. As long as I can take my certificates and walk away, I'll be 10 times richer than whoever I am now in the next 10 years. So that ability, that confidence in yourself is what you need to develop first before you can do away with a negative influence and walk away from a negative environment. Most people don't have that. Most people are just follow. You see a girl put ring in the nose, you put ring in your nose. You see a boy do hair like periwinkle, you just do like periwinkle. So people just follow people to gain relevance. I derive relevance from my productivity. I derive relevance from my contribution to humanity. I derive relevance from the number of people who wake up daily and thank God because of me. So it's easy for me to walk away, but most people don't have that independence. They don't have that ability to be themselves, reason for themselves, to be able to sacrifice some comfort, sacrifice some privileges, sacrifice some things that they benefit from people. Me, I'm ready to walk away. I started life with very little. I grew up with very little. I've achieved much with very little. So I can always do without so many things. That's it.
Wow. The word is enough for the wise, honestly speaking, sir.
I hope you're having a good interview.
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. I'm enjoying myself. So another question I also want us to quickly touch is that, personally, I do believe the importance of associating yourself with people who are doing better than you in a field of your admiration. So I want to quickly ask here, what is your advice for anyone who wants to hang around the right network or who truly want to attract the right people into his or her life?
Okay. If you move with 5 successful people, you'll become the 6th successful person. When you move with those who are below you, you will always be bending down to communicate with them. Even in marriage, I advise people don't marry below your social class. Don't marry below your social class. You will always have, if you're a man, you marry a woman far below you because of her beauty and not her brains. You will find out that you are always having problems with her because she cannot communicate with you. If a woman marries a man that is far below her social class, the man will always feel offended and feel inferior. So I try as much as possible to have people up there that I look up to. I saw Miles Monroe, who were in a queue to board a plane in an airport. And I saw Miles Monroe. I had admired Miles Monroe so much. Unfortunately for me, he sat just about 2 or 3 seats from me. And I said, I said in my spirit that in Africa, then he was still alive. I said, in Africa, I will be like Miles Monroe in Africa. And so I went there, gave him $100 to pay for transport when he gets to Lagos. But just that connection created a stimulus in me. If a lion lives among goats, it will start behaving like a goat. If an eagle lives among chickens, it will start behaving like chicken. I tell you the story of the heart of an eagle. An eagle was picked, is written by James Agri. An eaglet was picked by a farmer, and it reared the eaglet with chickens, and it grew among chickens. Then it started behaving like chickens, pecking the floor, picking grains on the floor, until a man came and said, this is an eagle. The man said, yes. He said, but I've trained it to be an eagle. The man said, I can still make this eagle fly because it has the heart of an eagle. First of all, you must have dreams, concepts, intentionality in your mind, aspirations, ambitions. So, and I carried the eagle, took it to the top of the roof and said, eagle, fly. You still have the heart of an eagle. Fly, eagle, fly. The eagle shook and jumped down and started eating with the chickens again. It was used to the chickens. Until the man carried the eagle, took it to the mountains in Johannesburg, and the rays of the sun hit the eyes of the eagle. And the eagles dwell on mountaintop. And you see the retina of the eagle is stimulated by sunlight. When the retina of an eagle is stimulated by sunlight, there's an energy that comes up. So the eagle screamed and flew off. It had a good environment. Number two, there was a lion that was raised among sheep in East Africa. The lion started moving with sheep. A small lion was moving with sheep until one day it got to the river. When it got to the waterside, it saw another lion across the river, and the lion saw this lion trained among sheep and shouted, "Whoa, roared, whoa!" All the sheep ran, including the lion itself. Then it came to drink water the next day. When it looked into the water, it saw the image of the lion he saw across the stream, and it ran on it, so nobody was pursuing it. Until it came the third time and saw the lion and realized that he looked like that lion.
Wow.
When that lion roared, it crossed the stream, left the sheep behind, and went with that lion. You will always need a lion that will roar. But before you can see a lion that will roar and attract you from away from the sheep, you must see the image of who you are in the reflection of the water.
Yeah.
So most people don't have an image of who they are. And the problem with Black people all over the world is that the image of who we are is drawn by the white man. It's constructed by the white man. It's constructed by perverted history. If you see the map of Africa, it looks small compared to China and Russia. But China, Russia, Europe, all of them, even North America, can fit into Africa. The white man deliberately drew that map to make it look as if we are a small continent. So don't take the narrative of your life from the white man. Take the narrative of your life from going deep into history. Christianity did not start in Europe. The first nation to become a Christian nation was Ethiopia in 350 AD. People like Emperor John, Emperor Menelik, Emperor Theodore were Christians. Ethiopia, under Emperor Menelik in 1896, defeated Italy at war in the Battle of Adwa. Queen Unzagi in what's this country now? In South Africa. Queen Unzagi defeated the Portuguese in Angola. A woman defeated the Portuguese in Angola, reigned for years, and they buried her with a spear and a leopard skin. Her statue is in Luanda. So we have had the mentality of a conquered people. We have allowed the spirit of slavery to enter our mind. So the average African needs a new African that can stimulate his intellect and his mindset. Newer models. We have associated Africa with very unreasonable and mentally retarded fossilized politicians who are our president. But we need to deliberately promote new pictures of African females, like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Produce the pictures of new African females, new African males that have done well, Adedeji, and all the rest of them, so that our young people can see models. You see, in the brain of animals like the monkeys, dogs, and human beings, there's something called the mirror neurons. Mirror neurons. Mirror neurons enables you to mirror what you see, to mimic. So when you expose people to things that they are supposed to become, people they are models they are supposed to become, molds that they are supposed to follow, they flow into that mold and that model and become better persons than themselves.
Wow. Wow.
When you say wow, you confirm a concept that God taught me. He said, wow. Wow is the language of grace and performance.
I'm just blown away here, sir.
He said, wow is the language of, he said, Dr. Apoki, always let people, when they meet you, let them say, wow is the language of grace and performance.
This is absolutely amazing, sir. Absolutely amazing. So this is going to be one of my best nights ever, honestly speaking. I also want us to.
I'm having fun.
honestly speaking, sir. I also want us to quickly touch this very question. Personally, I had a very traumatized childhood as a result of rejection when I was growing up as a little child. So yes. My father never really personally want to have anything to do with me as a child when I was growing up, even when I was born. Those experiences really traumatized me as a person when it comes to involving or having things to do with other people or approaching things. I also realized that I just give a quick story. There was a time I had a crush that I really wanted, a guy I really admired, and back then in school I wanted to talk to. I couldn't really have the confidence.
Where did you grow, Eddy Mufy? Where did you grow up? Let me interview you now, because the Eddy Mufy I knew was a film star. Where is this Eddy Mufy from?
I grew up from Edo State, sir. I grew up from Edo State.
Where do we are here?
Oh, yes, I'm here, sir.
Oh, where do pataki?
Honestly, you're just so amazing, man. Excuse me, sir. So, I couldn't really have a confidence to approach this lady because
the girl.
Everything I think about was like rejection. I could be rejected. I
yes.
could be denied. I could get no's. Until a junior student started dating this very girl. That's
yes.
no problem. And so what I'm trying to bring up from this scenario is this. Sometimes when we admire people as our idols, people who would like to associate with. Sometimes we have this anxiety and the fear of being rejected, the fear of hearing no from them if we really do approach them. So my question is, how will you, I know obviously there are a lot of people who have these issues, who have this challenging when it comes to approaching people who they admire, who they see as an idol, who they think will help them through in their own journey. So my question I want to ask here is how do you avoid these people who are having this kind of anxiety and fear when it comes to approaching people who we think they are better than us that could help us?
Okay, let me go to the ending of the answer, then I'll come back to the beginning. Social media.
You have the stick, sir.
Social media and internet connectivity and this handset has broken the barrier of space and time. If you want to connect with somebody, you didn't meet me physically.
No.
You sent me a message. We didn't meet. You didn't come to Ogeli to meet me. You just sent me a message.
Absolutely.
And each of us has that fear. But there was a banner I saw, a poster I saw years back. It said, "Get used to expecting no, but never accept it."
Wow.
Get used to expecting no, but never accept it. So my wife says the best way to start is to start. Just approach the person by email, by WhatsApp, by phone call. If he says no, the problem is not with you, the problem is with him. And you see, in today's world, there are several alternatives. Every problem you have in today's world is only 3.6 phone calls away, about 4 phone calls away. I was a very shy person because of the kind of background I came from and the way I was verbally addressed and all that. So when I wanted to approach my wife, I was scared that she would reject me. But I had developed some kind of kamikaze approach to life. Kamikaze is when the Japanese were fighting, they would just load the plane with bomb. The pilot is not thinking of coming back. It will just crash with the plane into the target and he will die and everything. If I perish phenomenal. So Esther had that fear and said, if I perish, I perish. I went to meet my wife, small girl, I went to meet her. I said, look, I had prayed. So the first thing is pray. I had prayed and I met her. I said, I want to marry you. Don't say no, I'm coming back to take answer. I came back, she still said no. No. I married her. No. She got pregnant. No. We had 4 children. If I go upstairs to go and meet her, she will still say no. If I tell her I want to sleep with her, she might say no, that she's tired. They always have excuses. So people, she's been giving me excuses throughout life, but I've been impregnating her. She has been delivering children for me. So then one other thing about life is, if you have had a traumatic past, just identify one aspect in your life that you are good at, a point of comparative advantage. You see, I had P7 in English. I had honorary pass in English. I credited literature. That's why I was able to enter university. I don't have a good handwriting. I don't spell very well. But you see, you are interviewing me and I'm speaking to you. And I'm a global speaker. And I earn a lot of money from speaking.
Absolutely.
So what did I do? I just joined the debating team. So I was able to debate. I was able to act. I joined the Sunday school team. I was able to teach in Sunday school. So I just found out that I had this ability to communicate. I also found out that I had humor. I'm a very funny person. I'm sure I laugh in my sleep. So that ability, and people started appreciating my humor, appreciating my oratorial skills and all that. And then I found out that I had some level of brilliance. So I started reading. I would read at night in the mud house, read because I knew that was the thing that was going to give me leverage in life. I was reading the Guinness Book of Records as a novel. Every year I would buy it, read it. That's how I knew about Lomonosov University as the single building universities in Russia. That's how I knew about the oldest continuous degree awarding university in the world. It's in Fez, Morocco. It has a green roof. So I started developing this aspect of my life and people started valuing them. And then my confidence built up. So today, I'm a very shy person. Today, it's women that come and take selfies with me. Oh, Dr. Apoki. Sometimes I'll be wondering, is this the same me? Oh, in those days, so go and meet a girl to dance. You remember those dance in school? You know, because my clothes were not good and I am not Chris Oyakilome. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not as handsome as you are. So if I go and meet the girl, if you go and meet the first girl and she refuses to dance with you, all the other girls will refuse. So we had these phobias. But today, because I have excelled in that little thing, I always do some little things I know how to do well. When women see me, oh, Dr. Apoki, can I have your number? They take my number, I don't take their number. Can I have a selfie with you? Like that. So the thing is that succeed. Make a mark in your life. People will struggle to associate with you.
Wow. Just
succeed. Every day you wake up as a young man, tell yourself, just succeed. Don't do internet fraud, but just tell yourself, just succeed. Succeed in one area. Succeed in one. There was a young man who danced in the rain during COVID-19, danced in the rain. And somebody saw him and they took him to the United States. With internet connectivity, do a video of what you are doing. Do a video of your product. Take a picture, put in Instagram. Have a WhatsApp, a Facebook page that advertises whatever you are doing. This world, it is only you that can reject yourself by not being on social media and using it effectively. Social media has turned the world to a global street, no longer a global village.
Absolutely.
You can be called and appreciated from all over the world. I receive phone calls from Russia, from Sweden, from Belgium, from France, from the United States, from Trinidad, from yesterday, somebody woke me up from Barbados around 12 o'clock. I live in a small town. You see, so then you must accept yourself. Accept yourself. See positive things about yourself. Sometimes I just look into the mirror and I tell myself, boy, you're too much for your generation. You're Dr. Apoki, you're too much. And then sometimes when I see the little successes I have made in the time past, if I want to approach somebody, okay, Ambrose Ali, you know Ambrose Ali, the governor of Bendel State then.
Absolutely.
The governor of Professor Ambrose Ali.
Yes.
He came to my medical school around May 1983. And everybody was afraid of going to approach him. But me, the coat, the suit I wore was not mine. I borrowed it. With borrowed suit, I just approached Ambrose Ali and I was chatting with him. I was asking him questions. You know, I said, worry man, now you understand what I'm saying? I was just chatting with him. The coat, I borrow him, will not be my own, no, another person's shoe. I was using another person's shoe to chat with the governor. And I discussed with the governor. And the picture is still with me till today. So sometimes when I want to approach people, I'll tell myself, I've chatted with governors before. Why can't I discuss with this person? I look at my past successes and then I go forward. Now, when you fail, don't destroy yourself. You see, before I started doing surgeries, in medical school, because of inferiority complex, my hands will shake when I want to do a thing. And one woman exacerbated that in Atibada, fat Yoruba woman. I wanted to withdraw blood from her. Her skin was so dark and she was so fat, I couldn't get the vein. I pierced her once and she shouted. As I wanted to pierce her a second time, my hands started shaking. She said, "Kinishe, Dr. Leyi, what's wrong with this kind of doctor?" She didn't know I was a student. You know, most people don't know who you are. They don't know your fears. They don't know your inadequacies. You know your inadequacies. Don't advertise them. Don't showcase what is wrong with you. Advertise your best. And always tell yourself, I'm good enough, baby.
Wow,
and then
wow.
Give me the try. Nothing wrong in trying.
honestly, this is amazing.
I'm sure your studio is hot. Your studio is hot.
Absolutely. Honestly, I'm really enjoying myself, Doctor. I'm really enjoying myself. I have been looking forward to these days, you know, and I also believe almost all our viewers today have really been looking forward to drink from the stream of wisdom. Honestly speaking, sir. So you are so amazing. You know, like I told you before, the backstage is like, man, your works have structured my life personally. And I'm just one voice speaking out of the millions that you have touched their life with your wisdom.
We thank God. We thank God. I really thank God.
I can't really thank you enough for really accepting this call of God upon your life to really go in this direction. But you don't really know how much you do in the life of people. Like you said that social media have turned the world into a global street, not even a global community. Anyway.
A village.
It's just like everybody can be able to communicate or raise a voice here, the other person here from the other end. You know, so you really amazing, sir. You know, I also want to quickly ask 2 questions before I will let you go, because I think I've really taken so much of your time, and I really don't want to end this interview, but I have to.
I'm having fun. I'm having fun. Let me be a little bit more immoral. This is how I get my this is how I get my orgasm.
I like that.
Intellectual orgasm.
Honestly, I really like that. I like that, sir. I think
Yes.
I'm gonna learn that. So I want to ask, when it comes to like making friends with people. For instance, you admire, probably maybe you just sign into a new school or into a new environment or neighborhoods. You just want to associate. You happen to meet with people. What are some of those red flag one should
Okay. The red flags that will make you want to run away. Number one, somebody who is not consistent. Says one thing now, says another. And some of those people, they use scriptures to deceive themselves. The Lord just told me. The Lord just told me. When you meet somebody who is always saying, the Lord just told me, he cannot be held accountable. He would deny that it was God that told him.
Oh my God.
The Lord just told me. I don't trust such, but I avoid such. Number two, somebody who is not considerate of other people. Somebody who is not considerate. And if that person is not considerate, you will see the person is greedy. I don't like greedy people. Then somebody who is desperate. You see, I must get it. I avoid such people. Then when I see somebody who talks evil about other people in your presence, you also know that he will talk evil about you in other people's presence. If I can't drive that person away, what I do is that I send negative signals to him. What I mean by negative signals, I give him wrong information. So he will go and peddle wrong information about me. So when he peddles wrong information, he doesn't really know who I am. Then somebody who can't keep a promise, somebody who does not pay back debts, takes money, doesn't pay back. The people who do not pay back debts have the following characteristics. Number one, they don't keep appointments because they think only of themselves. Punctuality is a factor of respect for others. Then paying debts back is a factor of respect for the emotions of others and for yourself. Then greed, you only think about yourself. So when I see red flag, somebody who is angry when I do well, I just avoid that person. Somebody who is not excited when I do well. I was in a ceremony a few days back, and as I entered, they were calling my name Dr. Apoki, Dr. Apoki. And 4 women came to meet me that I should not eat or drink anything in the ceremony. I'm not a superstitious person, but I'm a very careful person. I'm in an environment where I am seen as a star. Now, there are some people you should be very careful with, particularly those when you are succeeding and others are not succeeding. Try as much as possible to do good for them. But whosoever does not appreciate your good, avoid that person. Then the Bible says, avoid those that cause offense. Somebody who is present, there are some people that will just walk into a place. Their presence is irritating. Their dominion, their courage is irritating. They have a toxic approach to life. Avoid such people. Very critical people, avoid them. They are red flags.
Wow.
Yes. And then somebody who does not believe in God. Somebody who does not believe in God can do anything.
This is really amazing, sir. I really I believe everybody who is watching right now and or whoever is going to come across this broadcast
Interview.
later in the future, I believe everyone is going to be blessed. I've always believed it's going to be like this, sir. Honestly speaking, I know this how it's going to look like. I know this how it's going to look like.
Eddy Mufy.
Honestly, sir, I'm also intentional here because I know it was going to look like this. You know? I know it was going to turn out like this. Honestly speaking, honestly. So please, I just have just 2 questions here, sir. Sir, if what would you like to be remembered for after you have done your time here on that, sir?
Okay. I want to be remembered as the man who, out of nothing, out of being a non-entity, became a known entity. The man who was able to make his life become a perfume. He broke the alabaster jar and spread himself around humanity. I want people to wake up in the morning and start thanking God for Dr. Apoki, that I met him, I listened to him, and every place I meet, every place I go to, and every person I meet, I want to leave them better than I met them. I want to be known as an African that had value for intellectual development and the love for God. I run schools. The reason I run schools is that I believe that eternal life is not only going to heaven. Eternal life is living in people even after you have left here. I want to be known for being a wise man. I want to be known for being an African that was different from the typical African.
Wow, this is really, really amazing, sir. And absolutely, sir, you're doing incredibly good in this, sir. You're doing incredibly amazing, and a lot of the products are out there,
Yes.
to be of good help to people, even
Yes.
when we all done our time here. The product you have put out there is going to be there, and whoever searches for it is going to find it, and when they go through it and absorb from it, and I believe everybody who goes there must be blessed. Thank you so much for this, sir. And I want you to quickly let most of or let the viewers know when they want to get in touch with you as a person, or when they want to search out for your products, or probably for business transaction or mentorship, or your books, or however it is. Anyone who wants to get in touch with you, sir, what is the easiest way for them to reach out to you?
My books are on online, Petra Publications. Petra is Petra, publications.com. You can get my books, my audio tapes, or you go to amazon.com, Dr. Apoki's books. Then I'm on Facebook, Dr. Charles Apoki. Apoki is Apoki. Then I have a WhatsApp number, +234 70 52 13 6763. I communicate more with that WhatsApp number, and I mentor a lot of people from different countries of the world on that number. And Facebook, you can follow me on Charles Apoki. Then I have a YouTube channel, Dr. Charles Apoki, on YouTube. You can always follow on YouTube.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir, for
You're welcome. You're welcome. I enjoyed myself.
Thank you so much for this asset. I'm so grateful. I am
Eddy Mufy.
Sir, I am grateful.
Eddy Mufy, my
sir,
main
I am
man.
grateful.
Oh yeah, do pataki. I forgot to ask you, where are you based? Where are you talking from now?
I live in Denmark, sir.
Oh, Denmark.
Yeah, I live in Denmark.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I live in Denmark.
So when you are coming to Nigeria, you just go to Iceland and bring some stockfish for me.
Oh, actually, my wife is from Iceland.
Ah, so you bring stockfish for me, please.
Absolutely, we'll have a deal.
All right.
We have a deal. Honestly, sir, I really appreciate this connection with you. Although I've always connected with you right from time, even before we have this conversation. Right.
Interview.
Yes. I've always been following you, and your works have really, really blessed my life on a daily basis. And also, this is what I want to recommend to a lot of people. When you have someone you admire, even if you can't get in touch with them directly, man, you can follow them, read about them, study about them, drink from that streams of wisdom. Through them you can be able to. Most of my mentors are not even living. A lot of them are dead. But every time I read their product, I study their work, I feel like having a table conversation with them. It blesses my life always. So honestly, I just really want to say big thank you to you. So I want you to really, I don't know, this is just a bonus question, sir, or a bonus segment. Sir.
Okay.
I've kind of realized I work with a lot of young youth from Africa, and I've come to realize most youths actually they go into experimentation and try to become who they want to be, or try to become who they idolize. Go into experimentation by trying to become their role models. Why? Because most role models don't have track record or how to be traced. And this is the reason why sometimes people only see the outcome that is being displayed on the social media, the flaunts, the words and everything. But the story, the road that led to where that word came out from has nowhere to be found. And as a result of this, a lot of people go into experimentation by doing all kinds of things, go into crime, putting laws into the hand in order to be able to become someone else they have admired as a role model. So I want you to quickly pass a kind of an advice to some of those elites. What would you like to tell some of those people who are?
Let me talk to our young people. Number one, most of what you see on social media is not real. It's fake. Most people you see who you admire, they are suffering from depression. That's why they take drugs. You see some of them commit suicide. The role models Black people admire in Africa and in America are usually the musicians, Snoop Dogg, Tupac Shakur, and all that, and in Nigeria and all that. You see, those who succeed in music, an infinitesimal component of the total number of young people that started playing music. The thing is that don't become them, become yourself. The Bible says we are God's workmanship created in Christ Jesus to do good works prepared for us in advance. Discover yourself. When you discover yourself, create your space, run your race, run it in your own lane at your own pace. I live, this house is an 8-bedroom house with 10 toilets. I have another building there. I live on half an acre. But do you know this building, as big as it is frustrating because no person is living here with me. I have big cans there. It's frustrating managing them. It reaches a point in life. Most of those things you are admiring in people, when you get close to them, it is a vacuum. You see somebody like Michael Jackson, with all his wealth and whatever, he still needed to be taking medication and all that. You see, there's one man that was doing a chef on the CNN. He committed suicide. Just live a life that suits you at your own pace, in your own place, in your own space, in your own lane, at your own pace. I don't compete with people. I compete against myself. Wow. But you see, every success has principles, has process, needs patience, needs perseverance, hard work, and will need a push. And so if you don't know the principles, the process, the practices, and every greatness requires repetitive practice. You see, I'm not who I am now just by jumping from one place. I will read the questions you sent. I read through them. I went upstairs. I meditated over them. I conceptualized this performance in my mind before I came up. I told myself I was going to control the interview.
Now I got a secret.
I told myself I was going to control the interview. I was going to mesmerize Eddy Mufy, and I have succeeded in doing it. So create the future in your mind, and then you'll see that your body will react to produce it. I don't want to be like David Oyedepo. I don't want to be like Chris Oyakilome. I don't want to be like Miles Moreau, even though I said I want to be like him in Africa. Miles Moreau is Miles Moreau. I'm Dr. Apoki. I want to be the original Dr. Apoki. Any photostats are not admissible evidences in court. Photocopies. Only certified true copies are admissible evidences in court. Be the original. Echoes can be loud, but they are not clear. Echoes are muffled. Be the original voice. Currencies don't have too many signatures on them. If not, they will become graffiti. Live a life in such a way that you have few models who have affected your life positively. And then always look at the end results of the people you are modeling. A lot of these people, how did they end up? How did they end up? Peter Tosh, how did he end up? Bob Marley, how did he end up? Look at a host of them. Then look at the good ones among them that ended up well and imitate those ones. But don't just see somebody because he's driving Lamborghini, he's driving Bentley, you just want to be like him. No. You see, like this footballer, Manny, there's a footballer called Manny, an African footballer. He does not imitate the other African footballers. He's managing his life, developing his community. I saw his phone, the screen was cracked. He's living a modest life. Like Manny Pacquiao from Philippines. He's not living like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather that is buying gold, expensive things. The day he will get broke, he will be shocked. Manny Pacquiao has contested elections, become a senator, build houses, build schools, do charity work. It's such models that you can follow. Don't just follow people because of anything that you can pull out of your body when you go to bed is not wealth. It is what is inside you when you are sleeping that is wealth.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. How did we get here? Oh my God. Oh, can you repeat that again, sir?
Anything that you can pull out of your body when you go to bed is not wealth. I left two SUVs outside now. They don't go to bed with me. I will pull these clothes. They don't go to bed with me. I will pull my shoes. They don't go to bed with me. I will pull my wristwatch. They don't go to bed with me. I will pull my jewelry. They don't go to bed with me. What goes to bed with me is my vision, my purpose, my intentionality, my anointing, the grace of God upon me, and my dreams. So wealth is that thing that goes to bed with you, and you wake up with in the morning. Thank you so much.
Honestly, Doctor, thank you so much.
You've
always been a father. You've always been a father, honestly speaking.
Well, thank God.
Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. And I really look forward to...
One day I will come to Denmark. You will invite me to Denmark.
Absolutely, we'll do that, sir. We'll do that, sir. I really look forward for an extension of this relationship, sir. Absolutely. I'm so grateful.
Only I won't stay long unless I come with Gary and Egusi.
Oh, I will take care of this. We have much of this.
I don't leave Nigeria for too long.
Thank you so much. We have
all right.
I really
You're welcome. Greet Madam for me and greet the family.
Everybody will
and greet every person.
Everybody will hear you, sir.
Thank you so much. Want to thank my son Ufoma, the engineer, the administrator, and his wife, Dr. Mirella, who we are inconveniencing. I want to thank her and all those who have put this together, and your technical crew. Yeah, God bless them and our listeners.
He has been an incredible guy. Our conversation have been so very, very amazing. Our conversation,
yes,
he has always been there, and he watches out to make sure everything went fine. To this very
we started rehearsing from around 4 p.m.
Wow.
4 p.m. Change location, change the lighting, do that. Wow. So since 4 p.m.
That's why you are the best. You are the best.
you know how I read for exams?
Tell me, sir.
I don't have a good memory. Seriously? So I will read that subject matter 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 11 times until it becomes part of me.
Wow.
If I want to preach a message, I will put about several Bibles down, write the message. I will read it again and again and again. Even as I enter the church, just before I start speaking, I will read it again and again. That's where most young people in this generation miss it. That ability to do it over and over and over and over until it becomes you. It is the you that is your market. If your product is not you, you can't sell it. Your product has to emanate from you. It has to have your aroma. You have to earn it. Then people will pay for it. If you don't earn it, no person pays for it.
Honestly, sir, I'm grateful.
Eddy Mufy, let me allow you sleep. Continue like this.
I don't want to go back. I don't want to take much of your time anymore.
Please go. Eddy Mufy, please go. 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 I want to go and sleep. Go.
Doctor, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome. We'll get in touch. And I also want to thank our viewers. Thank you so much for joining this conversation this evening. And I know you got turned out of this. I know you got a lot out of this conversation. And if you have the means to say a direct thanks to Doctor, please kindly do so. And I wish each and every one of us a wonderful, beautiful night. God bless you for joining us, and I look forward to come across your way again on my next episode. God bless you, Doctor. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you, sir.
Au revoir. Au revoir. Thank you.
Have a wonderful night, sir.
Thank you.